Well, this actually gives me even more
Yes,
pause
I read
because
about this.
yeah, if Bernthal, and this goes along with what we were reporting for a long time,
Yeah,
right,
this
Andre?
is yes,
Fucking
because
bounding in their website shit. Jesus.
yeah, because here first we have to give a kudos to our good and late friend Mikey Sutton, because he was the first person that alerted us to this. Because what he said was in the transition from Netflix to Marvel, Marvel wanted some of their big players to come along, including Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. But what we learned from Mikey Sutton is that Bernthal, he takes the Punisher very, very seriously. And he is committed to doing the character right and to doing the fans of the character right. And from his point of view, the fans of the character, first and foremost, they're military guys and they're guys in law enforcement. He wants them to be proud of what he does as an actor. So the moment that someone goes about it the wrong way, then he's not going to do it. And what was reported here from Bounding into Comics, and this is not their original story, this is actually something that comes from X or some kind of social media, where there is one person, I believe, who had actually spoken with Jon Bernthal at some convention or something, if memory serves. And the story that they relate is that Bernthal, during the original shoot of, or the original scripting plans for Daredevil, uh, Daredevil over at Marvel Studios with the Daredevil series, they got the Punisher all wrong. And then he refused to come back. He didn't want to do it. And I'm not surprised, because Marvel has moved away from the Punisher in the comics in a very big way. I mean, they changed his skull and everything like that specifically because he appealed to law enforcement and to military guys. But Jon Bernthal isn't about that, so he refused to return. But
He
what he
loves
relates
veterans,
is
dude.
that
He loves veterans.
eventually, through many more rewrites and tries, they were able to do something that he could live with. So that in the current form of the Daredevil series, the Punisher apparently only has a minuscule role, but Jon Bernthal is the one playing it because he did the character right in the end. But it was a very close call, and for a long time there he wasn't doing it. So I guess that's some kudos to the new writers that came in to do the retooling of the Daredevil series, where they suddenly then made it more like the Netflix series was, because it would appear that they then have gotten the Punisher, well, if not necessarily right, then certainly more in line with how he was in the Netflix series. And I'll take that any day over what Marvel is doing with him this day and age. So yeah, Paul, I know you have to leave soon. You have thoughts on this?
I mean, I think that's good. Berthal was good, and we need more people standing up like this. But as you said so accurately, we need a good long string of successes before we start believing any of this stuff.
Yeah. I completely lost faith in them. Completely. And it has to be, and now it's going to take them as long to rebuild faith as it took to lose it.
Oh,
I mean, think about it. Marvel was something we anticipated, and now we dread.
Yeah.
How do you build from that?
Exactly. But you're right. Like, it used to be that when we heard an announcement, it was like, yes, can't wait. Now we hear it, it's like, no, I don't want it. Please, God, no. Because we
Right.
know they're going to mess it up. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it took them 5 years to lose that faith completely.
Well, I can hardly wait for Ironheart. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming after Deadpool.
Well, the Japanese version's really good.
Yeah.
Is it?
So just after Deadpool
It's
3
porn.
possibly will win some kind of fan momentum back. That's going to be followed up with the double whammy of Agatha All Along and Ironheart.
Those were my favorite comic books amongst my 100 that I've got. I can't tell you how many I have. None.
I got to tell you, they are definitely the nails in Feige's coffin. So just keep making them, Feige.
Yeah. I think he's making them on purpose to get fired, but they just refuse to fire him. And he's making them worse and worse and worse. And he doesn't want to quit because then he doesn't get his severance. So he's
Well, I think
purposely
it comes
making
down
garbage.
to this, Paul, that
Pardon me?
he has been gunning for a while to do what he's done. Everybody thought it was Victoria Alonso. I'm like, no, when he went after Ike Perlmutter, he was wanting to wokenize Marvel. That was his move. Victoria Alonso is just someone in his camp, and he's got what he's wanted. This is what he wanted, and I think he dares them to fire him.
Well, he's probably just going to lose weight and come out gay.
Eventually.
Well, that's usually what happens, and that's
That
probably
is.
what's going to
Have
happen.
cool hats.
Yeah, that's true. And before you go, Paul, because I know you have to head out here.
Yep.
DCB Titan sends in 5 Canadian, says, if they're so well trained, Paul, then why do they still draw penises on the map? It's talking about Weatherman.
Well,
Yes,
that's just for fun.
it's for fun.
Of course, we all know that.
That's right. So they can
and then
do the blooper reel.
And then we got a couple more here for you. Hyper Guyver says what I said for $2. Paul, Judge Dredd, enough said. Exactly. Could still do a character and not take off the helmet.
True. It's true, but at least you can see the mouth on Judge Dredd. It makes a difference.
True. That is true. Chaos Sonic 1 sends in 5. It says, I disagree with you, Chato, as Reed is a lot better in John Hickman's Fantastic Four fixes Reed Richards. I'm not familiar with Hickman's.
I always also like John Byrne's version of Reed Richards.
I read so much. I didn't read this, but I mean, I'm 60s Fantastic Four, and really Richards was
the original.
Horrible.
I'm very old school on the, I'm not familiar with hardly any of the newer.
I'll have to check out Jonathan Hickman.
John Burns did it in the late 70s, early 80s.
That one I probably am aware of, but yeah. Tennille89 sends in $5, says, I agree with the sentiment, Paul, but they've earned our distrust by now. We put ourselves at risk by defaulting to skepticism. More's the pity.
They've earned our distrust. So, yeah.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where you get bit.
Yeah, in the ass.
And if you like being bit.
Well, there's that too.
Well, in the ass, as usual. And with that, I'm going to let you get out of here, Paul. Anything you got coming up? TV Guide.
Well, I just today the latest edition of Appalling News. Quite fun. It was a really enjoyable one to do. So please take a look at Appalling News on YouTube and subscribe.
Always watch you, Paul.
They're fun to do. I'll talk to you later, everyone. Thanks very much, and we'll hopefully see you Friday. Thanks for having me.
Talk to you soon, Paul.
Bye, everyone. Good luck, Gary.
Thanks a lot, my friend.
I've given you money.
We're going to get you on with Tom and me on Saturday.
I've given you money. Don't fuck it up.
What am I going to give you back?
Yeah, you owe him a blowy now.
That's right.
It's toothy. You won't like it.
Okay. I took the option that had the Alice Cooper panties in the album cover. So for those of you out there, you got to be old enough to remember which album had the panties in it.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Alice Cooper puts out a new album this year. I was surprised to learn that he has actually put out
he's been out there a lot
almost every year this last decade.
Oh, he's hugely popular.
He put out a new album last year. And the year before that.
Trucking.
And the year before that.
Yeah, and his school's out, of course, Paul.
Of course. Bye, everyone.
Forever.
Take care, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Take care.
All right, let's get back into these super chats here, unless there's anything else to say about Bernthal. Although I know this, it might be a good place to plug your
I
stuff
do have one
quick.
little thing about it, because the Punisher inspired a lot of what's in Vindicated.
That's what I was
thinking.
That
and Batman.
I was thinking
because it was a debate over the Punisher and Batman that led to the existence of Vindicated as a character. But what I love that he supports the military, but he needs to support law enforcement too, because the left really has been just destroying the infrastructure of this country and our law enforcement. And we don't want to end up with what they have up in Canada right now for law enforcement. A bunch of jackboots. We don't want that. But that's what's going to end up happening if they keep doing this. And I hope it's not true that, the rumors I heard is that they're going to be doing corrupt cops again for this new show.
I believe that was the original plan.
I
That's
hope
probably
they get
what-
away from that.
That maybe was part of what pissed him off.
That probably
I hope
is
so.
what he didn't want to do, because that's kind of like what he has been doing as of late. Because what the rumor was that the Punisher would be going up against essentially MAGA supporters and corrupt cops.
Getting sick of that, because they did that with the Netflix series. That second season was going after religious right people, which I don't like most of the religious right. But at the same time, it annoys me because they're going after everybody who's conservative when they do that.
It was a very, very, let's just say, a very current year Marvel goal. Let's put it that way.
I want Punisher back to what he was doing, going after the mob and organized crime.
Yeah.
And that's what he was all about. And I like Bernthal, and I love that he supports veterans and the military, but he needs to support law enforcement too.
Well, he does, doesn't he? I mean, because that's
I've
what
only
he said.
heard his pro military stuff. I've never heard him say anything about law enforcement.
No, I believe I've heard that he said that the Punisher has to appeal to military and law enforcement.
Good. If he said that, then good.
He said that. Military and law enforcement.
I'm all
said
for
the
it.
two, not just military. He was very clear that the law enforcement there's a big Punisher fan base among law enforcement.
Good on him, man. That is good news.
And I do believe that I don't know, but the rumors that we heard before that he was going to go up against corrupt cops, now learning he wasn't going to do it, to me that just it fits perfectly with what kind of bullshit Marvel would have wanted to pull.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably the only thing from Marvel I give a shit about. I don't even care about Daredevil at this point.
Well, it's a very tiny role he has, though, so I would anticipate him to be in one episode based on what's said here. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I agree.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.